you're obviously all here to find out more about LinkedIn, to improve your presence on LinkedIn, to understand more about the platform. So it's definitely a platform that is worth investing in. Here we can see the most used social media platforms in the UK. And this is relatively recent research. It was taken in January 2021. Now, I use a couple of these slides throughout, and on the bottom right-hand corner, you can see where that data has come from. It's been taken from a report, and that report was commissioned by social media agency We Are Social in partnership with the social media scheduling tool Hootsuite. And the report is called Digital in 2021. And the great thing about this is that it is published annually. Now, because 2020 was a little bit crazy, to say the least, there were actually 3 reports commissioned throughout 2020. So you had the January report, you then had an April snapshot, the same for July, October, and then now we have our January 21. So if you are putting together a social media strategy or a digital marketing strategy, this is one resource that I really highly recommend. However, I haven't included lots of snapshots just where it is relevant. And I thought this was really relevant because it goes to show us the popularity of LinkedIn within the UK. So here we can see that LinkedIn is the 7th most popular social media platform, and it comes behind YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, which here is actually counted as a separate platform from Facebook, and Twitter. So in number 7, we have got LinkedIn, and 28.6% of internet users aged 16 to 64 in the UK have used LinkedIn within the past month. Okay, so we can see that that's nearly a third of social media users. But what does that actually equate to in terms of numbers? So here we can see that in the UK, there are over there's exactly 30 million LinkedIn users, which I'm sure you will agree is a really sizable audience. But the reason why I said just a moment ago that it is a really good platform to be investing in is because there is a lot of growth with LinkedIn. So we know here that based on the difference from the last quarter, so that quarter-on-quarter change, there has been a 3.4% growth in LinkedIn's advertising reach, and that's the number of individuals using the platform. Now that equates to 1 million people, so it's definitely a sizable growth, and the pandemic has actually contributed to the growth in LinkedIn. So whereas previously we might have had some riveting water cooler conversations, we were able to stay connected with our colleagues within the office environment. For many of us, that has changed significantly as a result of the COVID pandemic. And therefore, we are turning to social media platforms and digital tools in order to stay connected. And that's just one of the reasons why LinkedIn has experienced that growth. Other things we can see from this data, there is a slight male bias when we looked at LinkedIn as a platform. 57.1% of users are male, 42.9% are female, but that's certainly not enough for us to label it as a male-based platform. That difference doesn't considerably tip the scales. And if we look a little bit closer in terms of age breakdown, we can see that the majority of LinkedIn users are 25 to 34 years of age. And here there is a slight increase in the number of male users. So when we think about LinkedIn, it does make sense that a lot of 25 to 34-year-olds are using it because that slightly younger audience is the audience who has grown up with social media. They have adapted to it. A lot of the younger audience, say from 25 to 30, are really au fait with social media. So when they graduate from college or they move through their second level education, it's a natural progression for them. It's not to say that there aren't people over 35 on the platform. There absolutely are. But when we look at the age breakdown, it's quite noticeable how there is that bulk of activity between 25 to 34-year-old users. Now, that's not to say that it will stay like this forever. As the platform grows, we will see more users aged 35 onwards joining the platform. It's important to recognise that the younger users are normally the innovators. And then as the platform grows, you have slightly older people. And I feel really weird saying slightly older when we're talking about 35, because that's so young. But in the context of what we're seeing here, you can understand what I mean. Hopefully now you have an idea of how many people are using the platform, the growth of the platform, the gender breakdown and the age breakdown. And we can then move into understanding more functions and features from the LinkedIn platform itself.